Hello everybody, hope everything's great. Hope you're all been safe on the ice and looking forward to the warm water or open water. As you know, many of us are working on trying to get better regulations for commercial fishing or do away with commercial fishing on the inland waters, and putting better limits on panfish. Got a little bit here I want to read to you that I've put together. In the last 5 years, from 2018 to 22, commercial panfish that were bought, that is recorded by registered fish buyers, the amounts were yellow perch 701,001 pounds, an average of 140,200 pounds a year. White perch was 74,929 pounds, and an average of 14,985 pounds a year. Bluegill and sunfish was 466,734 pounds, an average of 93,346 pounds per year. Crappie was 62,555 pounds, an average of 12,511 pounds per year. That's probably like 12,511 crappie that we take per year to sell on the backs of the anglers and our future fishermen. Anyway, in that 5 years, there was 11 to 17 registered buyers in the state. They bought a total of 1,305,290 yellow and white perch, crappie, and bluegill and sunfish. If you figure that at $1.50 a pound on average for these fish, that equates to $1,957,828 paid out to sellers of untaxed revenue. These are under the table cash transactions that have put a lot of money in people's pockets at the expense of recreational angling opportunities. Some of this tax money possibly could have helped with fish management, like keeping hatcheries open. The only other fish or wildlife that is like this is trapping for profit, but they must have a trapping license, take a course, and be certified. They have quotas. The animals are inspected, and mandatory reporting and tagging is required. It is highly regulated, unlike commercial fishing. Now, anytime you put a monetary value on something like this, it usually leads to a lot of bad behavior and activities. Leads to greed, with people taking limitless amounts of many of these fish species for money in an unregulated fashion, which leads to situations where the public enjoyment of quality fishing opportunities is diminished and negatively impacted. Ponds have been altered in quality and size structure from overharvest at the commercial level. No attention has been paid to it in terms of monitoring these populations, so it is difficult to show you any data on it. But many of us who fish a lot and know Vermont waters have watched what happens, and if you all would ask the public and listen to them, I am sure you will hear many negative stories of how commercial fishing has negatively impacted the fishery and quality and enjoyment by anglers. It's been proven all over the country, time and time again, that removing too many larger species of panfish can and does stunt populations, and most times will never recover unless poisoned or killed, and basically having to start from scratch. The way commercial fishing is so loosely controlled in Vermont, with a very bad bookkeeping or biological data, like how many of any species is taken out of each water body, is hurting waters. We need good data to biologically know what this does to fishery and manage them accordingly. Commercial fishing over the years has caused other negative things, such as people fighting over spots, illegal limits, fishing in New Hampshire where it is illegal, and causes wardens to have more work. Then there is the public health issue on this. A lot of you don't know. A lot of people eating the fish, I don't believe, know. It is known that illegal selling from waters in New York labeled no-take zones because of PCBs and other poisons are being sold for human consumption. And there's no USDA to test fish like there is with poultry and livestock. This is just unacceptable. We also need to look at making better limits on our panfish and possibly putting crappie on the game fish list, or all panfish for that matter. They have become as popular as game fish for sportsmen. Since Dave Gent started the panfish revolution, it's really took a lot of pressure off the bigger fish like pike and walleye, lake trout. Back when I was a kid, pretty much that's all people fish for. And with Dave Gent, he changed all that and got people interested in panfish and bluegills. Especially when I was a kid, the old timers tell you to throw them on the bank, and you'd see piles of them on the bank. Not so much now. You go on the ice now, and 99% of your people out there fishing are fishing for panfish. So it's very important, and we need to change these limits. We need to do more like New Hampshire, which I'll get to in a minute. Right now, there's only 7 states in the country that don't have limits on bluegills, and we are one of them. New Hampshire, the limit is white and yellow perch, black crappie, sunfish, hornpout, 25 of each species, with a daily limit of no more than 50 fish. So you get 25 crappie, 25 bluegills, 25 crappie, 25 perch, or a mixture of all of them, but no more than 25 of each species. This is a lot better, I think, and it's something we ought to look at doing here in Vermont. And Grant, mind you, I'm not totally talking about Lake Champlain. That might be able to handle it, especially with white perch. But the inland waters, they're taking it in the shorts bad, and we've watched a lot of these waters get pounded, and you can't catch a decent fish out of them anymore. In New Hampshire in 2005, the state of New Hampshire was forced, or wanted to, change their limits, where they pretty much didn't have any, to what it is now, because of commercial fishing in other states like Vermont. This is what it said. It goes on, it tells you what the limits were changed to. And then it says, justification for administrative rule changes. These freshwater species of fish have commercial value, and therefore are targeted or have the potential for harvest from New Hampshire waters for the purpose of being sold to fish processors in Vermont and other states, which is in violation of RSA 207-2. Setting these daily bag limits for these species is intended to reduce commercial harvest interest. And it's from the fish biologist, Inland Fishery Division, New Hampshire Fish and Game. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. I hope you guys can all get a hold of your board members and Vermont Fish and Wildlife and tell them we need change. This is important for our grandkids, great-grandkids, and the future of our fisheries. There's a lot of things that impact our fisheries, the cormorants, loons now, invasive species, terrible. Police your own, go out there and help remove invasives. We could use some help down here on the Connecticut River. We found some water chestnut a few years ago, and we get a group together and go down there and pick them and put them in a compost away from the river. But it takes, I guess, around 12 years to really eradicate them if you can stay ahead of them. So there's a lot of things we can do. Pick up trash on the water bodies and the banks, and just take care of what we got. You know, it's not an unlimited resource. We just need to keep balance and take care of the things we got, so the future fishermen and hunters have what we have been able to enjoy. Y'all have a good day, and I hope you're all safe and enjoying this warm weather. It's been a crazy winter. The worst winter I've ever had since I ice fished. Anyway, take care. Good talking to y'all. See you out there on the water.